It started as an idea, it became a dream, and now it's becoming a reality. No one foreseen it happening, it just happened. But enough of the chit chat. It's game time!
Do you like football? Do you appreciate good commentary? Enjoy the factual entertainment we call podcast. You won't regret it. Tim, the GOAT to Joseph. Bruce, QB1, Stone. Tariq, Religious Jackson. Ryan, Hot Takes Lee. Reese, hat on backwards means business row. Together they form the football guys. Tune in while you can. They aren't on forever.
Clocked in, minds at work, stadium's my only church. IQUC, I come in first. NFL, I'll wait my turn. Brucey is the QB1, Timmy is the football nerd. Ryan's hopping on them takes, Religious Reek will bless with words. Last but not the least is Reese, he shows opinions over. Hova speaks his mind while staying sober. Spits his facts, come watch your show. Your hat is on backwards, you know it's for closer. You lucky they started the show that you're clover. Think that your brain is super, then over. Tune in while you can, you'll hate when it's over.
A very happy Thursday to everyone. This is the Football Guys podcast. As always, he is Tariq. He's Bruce. He's Timmy Goat. He's Reese. I'm Ryan. And as a collective, we are the Football Guys podcast. As you guys might have seen in our previous video, today we're going to be kicking off Goat Madness. We're going to be highlighting the greatest players of each position of all time. And we're going to get things started with the most well-known position. You could ask someone that doesn't even watch football if they know this position. The answer is yes, and that is the quarterback. We're going to follow up on Sunday's episode with tight ends, a little lesser-known position, but you definitely know these players. That being said, I'm going to throw it over to Tim to reveal our bracket.
Okay, so we're going to start off because, of course, the GOAT knows the GOAT. So we're going to start with the 1 versus 8 seed. And we're going to go with Tom, the modern-day GOAT, people consider, versus Johnny Unitas, who was the original considered the GOAT matchup. The past versus the present. So we'll start off with Ro. What do you think of Ro?
For that matchup, honestly, I got to go with Tom. I think what you guys are going to see with pretty much of my choosing is the fact of the championship. I hold that as the pinnacle portion of how many chips have you won, how many you did not win. The fact that you're a winner always holds high to me. So, of course, I got to go with Tom. He has the most championships out of a quarterback, no matter how much you want to say how he won them. He did, and that's no disrespect to Johnny U, who pretty much revolutionized that quarterback position. He did it before a lot of other guys. And, he made that position go forward. So I definitely got to go with the GOAT, and there's a reason why he is the GOAT, and that's mainly because he's been winning. He's still doing it, now at 40-some-odd years old. So, damn, I think he's actually 42, correct?
Yeah, I think he's going on 43.
Yeah, this August. You know what I'm saying? And shout out, because he's a Leo, so I got to go with my man. So it's another August baby. I apologize. But, yeah, you already know. I got Tom.
Me too. I'm an August baby, too.
Look at that.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you got, Reek?
So, I got Tom. I don't think it's close. Now, no. I know that's that person that was born back then and they watched football in the 60s and, oh, man, you don't know who Johnny Unitas. You're right. I don't know. But I know that Tom Brady got 6 rings, right? He has 6 rings. So, when I look at, my 3 criterias for who is the best ever at a position, I look at who's better than who. I look at eye tests, I look at stats, and I look at your accomplishments. There's nothing that Johnny has that's better than 6 championships because Tom Brady has 6 rings. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, again,
I believe, right?
6 rings, 6 fourth quarter, I believe at least second half comebacks, it's not close. Like I said, God bless you, Johnny. I know you revolutionized the position, but I'm sorry. You just went against the GOAT and you out of here. So, deuces.
Huh.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Interesting.
What you got? What you got, Bruce? Because you're the quarterback.
Itching.
So
He's
what you got?
itching.
Family. So did we not do any kind of research at all before you started flapping out on how our man is the GOAT? Like, listen, anybody, y'all know Johnny Unitas, he got himself a Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
He did get one of those. Super Bowl 5,
Yes,
actually,
he
I
did.
think it was, right?
Yes.
All right. He also was
he
a
have?
three-time champ, right? So us Eagle fans, we talk about how we want to count our championships back in yesteryear.
Yep.
Don't you shake your head, Reese. All right? we talk about it. That's when football was football, right?
Correct.
He's got. By the way, he was a 10-time Pro Bowler too.
Football.
Hey, he was a 10-time Pro Bowler too.
Okay.
All right. Now listen.
In Tom Brady's defense on the Pro Bowl thing, he's been in so many Super Bowls. Every Super Bowl year is a year he's not eligible for the Pro Bowl.
Right, you're right. And I think if you want to go back and look, I guarantee he wasn't voted every single one of those years their Pro Bowl. I would bet money on that.
Right.
But with that being said, obviously, no matter what Johnny Unitas did, and Johnny Unitas, he revolutionized the position, right? It's Brady. But we're going to sit here undercut my man's real quick. Johnny U he was a bad man. He was a bad man. I mean, so it's definitely Brady. I mean, 6 Super Bowls. He's been an MVP. And how many of those? 3?
Yeah, I think
Two or
4.
Yeah.
3?
I think 4. Isn't it?
4 or 4.
4.
It was
Right?
4 because Edelman was 1 and Branch was 1, so 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, listen, Brady's whether it's Belichick or Brady, we don't know. But as of right now, it's hard to vote against the man. But Unitas definitely is no slouch. That was a heck of an 8 seed. And for all you guys out there clamoring for Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers for crying out loud.
Talk to him.
Johnny Unitas
Oh my
was
God.
a ball player. Okay? Johnny Unitas, do a little research, right? Open it up. There's Google, right? You can go to NFLfilms.com, right? These things are true. YouTube.
Yes.
It might be
YouTube.
black. It might be black and white. My man won a Super Bowl though.
They got a couple in color. You know.
But
If
listen,
y'all-
he won one before Brady.
Exactly.
That's
But
a cheap
he-
shot.
I know he had to, bro. He had to. He's born.
And the best part about it was you said exactly.
I know.
Reese is
I think
exactly.
I'm like, hold up, whoa, you got me. You got.
Reese is like, you're damn right.
Hold on.
Nah, but yeah, it's definitely Brady. Brady's gonna move on this one. On to round 2, the GOAT goes. What do you got, Rye?
Tom Brady, next question.
Fair enough. I like it.
See, he know. He know.
Sure is sweet.
Hot take Charlie don't play. He rocks
Sure
it.
is
He know that. He know.
Sure
He
is
know.
sweet. He gave him the Marshawn Lynch shit. He's like,
Yeah,
look,
he's just here so I can find.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
oh man. All right, what you got, Tim? Who's the next matchup?
Well, I gave my winner first. I got
Go ahead, Tim. Who you
I
got?
got Johnny U is amazing. Not to be confused with Johnny Utah. Shout out to Point Break. But Tom Brady. I'm gonna go with the Ryan, short and sweet. Tom Brady. Just
Clean sweep.
if we were alive during because you can watch highlights all you want, but like you can't get the same feeling if you watch someone like as the actual game's going on. So it's hard for me to. And I apologize to the Unitas family for my my lack of age and viewing your father or husband or whoever play quarterback, but
Unbelievable.
Tom Brady. I'm sorry, Unitas family, but it's Tom Brady. Shout out to Gazelle.
Oh my God.
You're unbelievable.
Okay, so our next matchup is the 4-5 seed, which is number 4 seeded in Peyton Manning, part-time comedian, full-time quarterback, and Dan Marino,
I'm in the building for this one.
Let's
part-time
get it. Let's
part-time-
get it.
isotoner salesman, and Ace Ventura actor. He got snubbed on the best supporting actor, and Ace Ventura won. But
I can't stand you, bro.
so we'll go with Bruce because Bruce seems to be excited about this one. So we'll start with Bruce. What do you got, Bruce?
So look, I know Peyton Manning broke his Marino's single season touchdown record. He broke pretty much all of Marino's records, right? Manning had better players around him than Marino did. Okay. Marino is the best pure thrower I've ever seen. Mahomes, hold his beer. I don't care about Mahomes. A-Rod, same thing. It was effortless to Marino. Now, granted, Marino moved like an offensive lineman in the pocket. I mean, literally, they made fun of him when he would run. And the dude was amazing. He don't got a Super Bowl. He lost the only Super Bowl he was in. He played on a very, very bad team most of his career, right? I remember growing up and them trying to get Barry Sanders for him, them trying to make moves to improve the team.
He also
It didn't
lost to
work.
Montana.
I know he did. I was going to get
So-
there, man.
so I'm saying-
Oh, yeah, that's true, too, right? So he lost to
They-
one of the best players of all
Yeah.
time, our 2 seed, right? Look, man, Peyton Manning, otherwise known as the Sheriff, right? He, I mean, my man set all types of records. He's third all time in, passing TDs, right? I think got surpassed recently. I think he's up there in yardage. My thing is that second Super Bowl, we use the term empty calories, right? I know a guy that keeps using that for some certain running back in Carolina.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
My man's great. He called his own offense. One of the smartest football players to ever grace an NFL field. But I'm going Marino. And I love Peyton Manning, but I'm going Marino. Look, man, you can look at me all you want. Peyton Manning walked around with 3 Hall of Famers, possible, right? Edric James, he may be a Hall of Famer. Dallas Clark is pretty good, not a Hall of Famer. Marvin Harrison, Hall of Famer. Reggie Wayne, a possible Hall of Famer. He went to Denver and played with Wes Welker. Come on, dog. He played with Demaryius Thomas. He played with Eric Decker. What's
You was
tight
good
end?
with the Colts ones. You weren't good with the
I know.
Denver ones. You was good with the Colts ones.
You was good
but you
with
weren't
the
good with the
Colts.
Denver. You just left it with the Colts. You were fine with them.
He still played, but he still played with good players.
Yeah, I know. But you had the Hall of Famers with Colts, but you missed them when you said Denver.
No,
You
I
left
didn't
with
call
Colts.
the Bronco guys.
I
Hall of
know, but you went from Hall of Famers to like, so that's why you should have
Famers. I
said.
mean, Wes Welker's a pretty good player, but
Is
the
he
point is that
I said, is he still walking on them concussions, man? He might be asleep someday.
Anyway, so I got Marino though. Who's up? Let's go, Reese.
You know what, Bruce? And I don't like really going against you. You know what I'm saying? Because you are the QB1. Shout out to Jordan. But, man, Dan, I know he might got a special place in your heart and all that other good stuff, but there's no way that you're taking Dan Marino, who literally – remember, he went to that Super Bowl young in his career and never went back. Never. And we all gave a shout-out to one of the best coaches ever. He played – under Don Shula. So you can't say it's the coaching. You cannot say it's that.
Coaching.
So with that being said, Dan, you just never got it done. At the quarterback position, you never got it done. Somehow, some way, you were supposed to get it done. And the fact that Peyton did get it done. Yes, we talk about the Hall of Fame wide receivers, and we'll get into that another episode. You guys check that out too with the wide receivers. And Marvin Harrison, I think he's actually a Hall of Fame wide receiver, and Reggie Wayne are because of the fact that they played with Peyton Manning. He helped develop those guys. He made those guys, you know what I'm saying, into Hall of Famers just by the work ethic and so forth. You cannot really say that for Dan. I'm sorry. And the fact that, once again, you only made it to 1, it's not – he didn't even get he didn't get close. And that's the thing. He didn't get close. So he even got outdueled in that Super Bowl too as well. So this is my thing. That's why I said it's clear cut Peyton Manning. I'm sorry, Dan. You know what I mean? I love the 5,000. It was unheard of. But once again, I have to agree with Reek with the empty calories and all that good stuff. A little bit of that was that. Sorry, Dan. Ugh. Yeah.
All right, man.
What you got, Rye?
I'm gonna play off this whole empty calories theme. I'm gonna say no calories for Dan Marino. Plain and simple. He never won a Super Bowl. At the end of the day, that's what playing the game's all about. You want to be at the top of the mountain. You want them rings. Peyton got 2 of them. Dan got 0. Peyton has Peyton has very similar numbers to Dan Marino. He has a lot of records. He broke a lot of Dan Marino's records. You guys already hammered that, so it's redundant for me to hammer over it. It's Peyton Manning. Plain and simple. Yeah. I'm a little biased. I grew up a Peyton Manning fan. I had a Peyton Manning jersey when I was young. Either way, it's Peyton Manning. He's got 2 rings. Dan has 0.
You potting today, right? You trying to pot today. I see what's going on. I see you ready. You ready today.
Yes, sir.
All right, so wait a minute. So let me just while we're on that topic, right? As soon as Peyton Manning left, right? Andrew Luck took that team to the AFC Championship game. Tom Brady is Peyton Manning's daddy.
Hey, we're not talking about Tom Brady.
Nah.
We're talking about Dan Marino and Peyton Manning.
Did Andrew Luck win?
He didn't. He's another one.
Never to win.
Get him out of here.
Is Andrew Luck still in the league?
Get him out of here.
Tired, bro. Y'all were good.
Get him out of here.
If Brady's Manning's daddy, everybody else was Marino's daddy.
He played on shit teams, and y'all know it.
Oh,
that's all right, though.
Can I jump in?
You got it, Reek.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So, Dan Marino. So I told y'all before, I got 3 categories, right? The eye test, your career stats, and your accomplishments. Eye test, woo, that boy could throw. Marino, that boy could throw. Boy, I tell you, he got a cannon. Listen, he's dropping dimes in the 80s. It was retarded. Career stats, 61,000 yards, 420 touchdowns. Now, remember this, ladies and gentlemen, he played in the 80s and 90s, so throwing the ball wasn't like that back then. You know what I'm saying? 61 is retarded. It's retarded. Okay. Then we look at accomplishments. Okay. So, he was a 9-time Pro Bowler. He was 3 first all team. He was 5 second all team, and he was an MVP. But he has 0 rings. Now we're gonna go to Peyton Manning. Like I told y'all before, I said eye test. So for y'all young viewers, y'all see how Madden has pro reads? That was Peyton Manning. That was the pro reads right there. He told you who was open. Okay. And the old school Madden players, remember the QB vision? That was him. QB vision. Because he just the hot route, that was Peyton Manning. He was the person of the hot route, the audible. That was him. That was that guy. There was no defense he didn't know. For the young viewers and overs out there, just want to put y'all together.
Except for the Saints in the Super Bowl.
I'm going to get to that in a second. So then you look at accomplishments, right? When we go to Peyton Manning, this man had 70,000, but like 70,000 yards. He's a 14-time Pro Bowler, 7 first team, 3-time second team, 5 MVPs. I feel like I'm on the Christmas song. 5 MVPs.
Oh my God. Man.
And he has 2 Super Bowl rings. That being said, it's Peyton. I'm sorry. I like you, Dan, but the man got 2 rings. He lost at the same amount of you have been in. You know what I'm saying? He got 2 rings. I know he got empty calories the second one. I know they kind of led him there, but he got it. He got 2. So I got to go Peyton Manning. Sorry, Bruce. You are the QB1.
This is unpopular.
I know Dan is the greatest talent ever. But again, when you have 2 Super Bowls and the man had none, I can't go with him. So
Manning officially earned one of those Super Bowls. He didn't earn both those Super Bowls.
It's still more than Washington got.
Still more than 0.
And I can argue Brock Osweiler would not have gotten that team to the Super Bowl. I mean, it is what it is. So
garbage.
We got you, Tim, to go. What you got?
That shit's poop.
Well, I guess I'm going to join the unpopular opinion, and I go Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was pretty much the offensive coordinator, the coach, the quarterback. He's designing the routes. I mean, the guy did more, I think, than anybody in NFL history.
Talk to him.
I mean, Marino was great. When I was a kid, my grandfather used to show me that, like, look how he throws the ball. But as I said thousands of times, talent only gets you so much in this world. And he only made the one Super Bowl, and he lost. And I don't think he had very much playoff success ever again. So I got to go with Peyton Manning.
4-1.
I can't wait. I can't wait
4-1.
until we get to other positions. When we talk about great players and haven't won Super Bowls, I'm gonna remind every one of you schmucks of this.
Okay,
Remember
but
Quarterback's different.
No.
Quarterback's
Nah,
different.
say it, quarterback.
Quarterback is
You are.
definitely
That's what
different.
your quarterback is the most important position in football, as we all can agree.
Hell.
And they are judged by wins.
Ooh.
That is the
Now,
one
what
position.
you saying that? I'm
And
sorry.
all
go
in
ahead,
the NFL, they're judged by wins. Everybody else can lose and make the Hall of Fame, but QB, you got to win. I think Dan might be one of the few.
Trent Dilfer better than Dan?
Here we go. I bet you if you ask Dan, he want that ring though.
I know.
Of course he does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
He said that live.
you
Yeah,
can't
but
make
when
that
I'm-
argument. We're talking about guys with the same stats.
Right.
I got you, though. You're
Exactly.
right.
So,
All right.
Go.
Right.
All
It's
right,
okay.
no
It's
moves
okay,
on,
Bruce.
man.
Listen. That's your guy.
Go.
I
Oh,
get
it's
it. I
guard.
like
Hey.
that.
It's a guard.
I would take Nick Foles over Dan Marino any day of the week.
Oh my goodness. Hot.
First of
He
all,
don't
let me tell
even-
you
he don't even
something.
believe
Let me tell you
that.
something.
That
Let
was
me
to
tell
piss
something.
you
He
off,
don't.
and
You
got
don't
you.
even
He don't.
believe that bullshit. Because
He
Marino
don't.
has
He
more
don't.
talent in his friggin' pinky toe than Marino and Wentz put together.
Why you fall for it, man, Bruce? Why you fall for it? And gotcha.
We're not
Gotcha.
gonna
That's what
talk.
he did.
Yo, we're not gonna shoot my boy down and kill him while he's there. We're not gonna hit him
No,
right
but
now.
you fell for
not
it. Man.
happening.
You took the bait.
Oh my
I did it on purpose.
Jeff
I know.
Hostetler is greater
Who's
than
the
Marino.
who's the next matchup, Tim?
What you
Go
got,
to
Tim?
the 3-6 matchup,
I like this matchup.
and it's with Mark Rippon versus Jeff Hostetler. No, I'm just kidding.
Mark Rittman. I was like, yo, all right, man, stop.
It's the 3 seed, John Elway, who's still talked about the greatest prospect of all time, versus the 6 seed, the gunslinger, Mr. INT, Brett Favre. Also, shout out to Brett Favre for his good role in Something About Mary, another actor on this list.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
That's my guy right there. Good dude.
Okay, so
Who wants to start?
we'll start this one with who hasn't started yet? We'll start with Ryan. You start this one.
I'm actually going to defer to. I haven't fully made my mind up on this one. I'm doing the
Fine.
last
We'll
couple
go
pieces of research.
with Reek. Tariq, you're up.
Okay, now this was a little bit more spicy, right? So when you look again, eye test. Let's talk about John first. Before Patrick Mahomes, when you talk about strongest arm in the league, John could throw that thing 80 yards, 90 yards. If you look at any highlight clip, you see Shannon Sharp, Rod Smith, they just running 6, and you see dimes. Ridiculous. When you look at career stats, let's take a look real quick because I pulled it up because I want to make sure I was ready for
I got you, bro.
So he got 51,000 passes, which is less than Marino. I want to give you a little plug there.
Okay.
300 touchdowns, 226 interceptions. So he's not even 1 to 2 ratio. Like it's kind of close with his. He's a bit of a gunslinger himself, but he has 33 rushing touchdowns. He was a runner. Let's keep it a beat. He can run. And let's look at accomplishments. The man got 2 rings. He got 2. He worked hard for them 2. It took him a long time for them 2, but he got them 2. Now we look at Brett. Brett, Mr. Iron Man, Mr. I'm not coming out the game. I'll take 800 milligrams. I'll take Percocet. I'll take Vicodin or whatever. I got to play. Mr. What was the quarterback game? What was it in the 90s? What was that game? Was it Brett Favre quarterback? Was it QB football for 64?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Right?
God.
You know what I'm saying? That was the quarterback. Listen, if you want to be a quarterback in the 90s, it
Yes,
was
sir.
Brett.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It was
sir.
Brett. He was legit. He was legit.
That's funny, bro.
When you give him accolades from going from Green Bay, winning there, going to Minnesota, would have won there, then inside a bounty gate and take him out the game. You know what I'm saying? He had every career history stat. So he was similar to LeBron, where he had the longevity. So if I play long, I get a lot of stats. That's kind of who he was. But he does lead the league in history in interceptions. You talk about a gunslinger, like not giving a damn. That was him. Double team, triple team. If I'm gonna throw you the ball, I'm gonna throw you the ball. This little window, I know it's only a little pinhole, but I'm gonna make it. That was Brett, and we love him for that. That being said, I'm going with John Elway. It's a slight. I gotta go with John. I gotta go with John because at the end of the day, the quarterback position is about wins. So when you're close to comparison, as far as stats and accolades and things like that, now I know, Brett got the MVPs, but when you lead NFL all time in interceptions, I gotta dock you for that. I just do. Like, I can't give you credit for trying every throw. That's not a good, man. Where's your decision maker? We not Jameis Winston because he threw 30-some interceptions. So we can't give Brett Favre praise and say, well, he tried to make the difficult, impossible throw. No, man, no. Throw to somebody else. So that being said, I got John by a slight edge. I got John Elway. What you got, Reese?
Hold up. I'm ready if you don't mind if I get this in
okay,
here
my
real quick.
fault. Go ahead, Ryan. You got the floor, my guy.
Yeah, my bad. So I'm not going to tell you I'm going to go through this whole little spiel I got. And if you can't figure out halfway through who I'm going with, then there's something wrong with you.
Oh, Lord.
Patrick Mahomes.
In their careers, 6 times in his career, Brett Favre had a season with 4,000-plus yards. Elway only did that once. 9 times in his career, Brett Favre passed for 30 touchdowns in the season. John Elway did that 0 times. 9 seasons, Brett Favre had a passer rating above 90. Only 2 seasons can you say that for John Elway. Brett Favre is a 3-time All-Pro. John Elway, 0. Brett Favre has 3 MVPs. John Elway has 1. Brett Favre does have a higher interception percentage at 3.3, but John Elway is only 0.2 behind at 3.1. Brett Favre has a touchdown percentage of 5.0. John Elway has 4.1. Brett Favre's career completion percentage, 62%. John Elway's completion percentage, 56%. Brett Favre has a Super Bowl ring. Elway does too. I don't have the exact what I'm looking at now. It doesn't have that listed.
Yes, 2.
He has 2. Okay, so yeah, Brett Favre played in 2 Super Bowls. He played in 31 and he won it, and he played in 32 and he lost it.
John Elway also beat Brett Favre in the Super Bowl.
Don't tell him that, Tim. Don't tell him. I wasn't going to tell him that. I wasn't going to tell him that. Go ahead.
That doesn't matter. That I understand. That really when you look at the numbers cut and dry.
Okay, go ahead. You got it, right.
Brett Favre kills him statistically. It's not even close. It's Brett Favre. It's plain and simple. And you are, and you have. I understand the longevity thing. That's something you got to factor in. Quarterback's a position that's easy to fall apart in. You see it in the league all the time. Quarterbacks can fall apart like that. It's Brett Favre. It's not. It's to me. It's not even close. Elway was great, but it's not even close. I'm throwing it over to Tim.
Oh, Tim, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, Tim's he's waiting in the wing. We got his hand raised and all.
Where do I begin?
Yeah, get him, Tim. Get him.
So, as you go back to this, John Elway beat Brett Favre in the Super Bowl. And why did they win that game? Because Brett Favre threw a bad interception at a key point in that game. Also, you guys are Eagles fans. You can't forget that horrible interception he threw to Dawkins, where Dawkins
listen, that was the worst I've seen in history. He was like, punt.
Yeah, he looked like he was taking a punt. I tell you, I don't know what Dawkins was doing on that play. He was so far back there.
Hey, thank you, Jesus.
No one else was back there.
He was giving Lord praise while I was coming down. I know.
And also Atlanta. That's my whole thing with Brett Favre. He was great, but in my eye test, like Reek said, the eye test is very important. I can remember him losing 6 or 7 big games on his bad interceptions compared to like how many he won on his own. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. against a crappy Patriots team. But he lost to Elway head to head. His
You're forgetting something, Tim.
stats are nice and all, but I mean Elway, like we all know Ryan's the youngest out of all of us, so a lot of us seen a lot of these Elway things. He did struggle in some early Super Bowls, but he also, I mean, he had the drive, which is one of the top 5 like all-time NFL moments.
Stole my shine.
So it's John Elway, and to steal Ryan's thing, it's not even close.
Hey, Tim, you didn't even tell him that Desmond Howard was the MVP of that Super Bowl.
Man, will you stop?
He said, "Would you stop?
Damn,
Would you
bro.
stop?"
Real quick though, Tim. I mean, to say it's not even close, and for Elway, you're just completely disregarding the stats. He doesn't have the stats that Brett has.
Yeah, stats are all good and all, but
And
aren't the,
it's not like he's blowing Brett Favre out of the water when it comes to Super Bowl rings. He's got one extra ring on his finger.
All right.
yeah, but he's also been to how many extra ones? I mean,
Yeah,
and he ran.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He ran into great teams like Marino. He
He
ran
ran
into
to a
Joe
couple of
Montana.
goats. That's on his list.
He ran into the best offensive line in history. I mean, so it's not like he was a slouch all those other years. He didn't win the Super Bowl. He just had some
Right.
bad luck.
Right.
Who wants it next? Is it Bruce or Bro?
I'll go. Reese, you
I
don't
know you've
mind?
been jumping. Go ahead, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So, you guys know, obviously, I clamored for Marino, right?
Mm-hmm.
Elway, there's people believe when he came out of Stanford, he was the greatest prospect we've ever seen. There are people who thought he threw the ball too hard, right? They thought, like, literally, he threw the ball too hard to throw to receivers.
You get that same problem, don't you, Bruce?
Once in a while.
Also, every year in the draft, they always reference him as still being the greatest prospect.
Yo, this is no lie. Now, look, Rod Smith, he tells a story, and just like Brett's guys do too, and I'm going to get to Brett in a second. Rod Smith tells a story about how, like, he's felt it, man. On those cold days in Mile High, he's taken a couple with bent his fingers backwards, broke some bones in his hands, etc. Like, he felt it, right? But I'm going to tell you like this, before I even go towards Brett Favre, okay? 99 yards, the drive, right? 99, 98. Probably the most impressive thing I've ever seen, okay? John Elway had a lot of bad breaks in his career. A lot of them. He would have had more than 2 Super Bowls. John Elway got 2 Super Bowls at the end of his career. Yeah, it's relatively helped out. Let me tell you something. John Elway, Super Bowls that year, those years. He was a big part of those Super Bowls.
98.
Big part of those Super Bowls.
The helicopter.
Now, something my good friend Ryan don't realize is Brett Favre, Southern Mississippi. Well, by the way, his number's retired. We'll shout out to him, right? But at Southern Mississippi, as well as I think with the Packers, right? But Brett Favre might have the strongest arm, one of the strongest arms we've ever seen as well. Brett Favre could put, what do they say, a BB through a battleship, right? I mean, but growing up an Eagles fan, I watched some of those terrible interceptions that y'all talked about. I watched this man throw an interception in overtime to Brian Dawkins, and it looked like he was trying to throw the route to Dawkins.
It was terrible. I was so happy.
Now, look, man, he's the gunslinger. He threw, I don't even feel like looking up the stats, but more interceptions than I can even imagine of. Like, that's bananas, right? No, the Super Bowl he won wasn't because of Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Guy, and when we get into this discussion, might win his bracket. Remember, Reggie White dominated that game.
Hold up 1 second.
So people forget Reggie White dominated that game. Okay? So for people to undercut the fact that Desmond Howard was the MVP, Reggie White had 3 consecutive sacks. He ended a drive by himself. Okay? Look, man.
Another GOAT.
I love Favre. Always will. Dude was an Iron Man. It's Elway by a mile. It's Elway by a mile.
You're up, Reese.
Hey, Rye, you my guy, man. You're my guy. That's all I can say. You know, and we're, as you guys see this right here, we're talking about GOAT madness. And when you talk about GOATs, and I understand that you guys, because this is Thursday, so we just had, and I know this ain't football, but we just had a thing called the Michael Jordan, right? You guys been probably watching that episode on ESPN, and you talk about the GOAT and so forth and so forth.
That's right.
But with that being said, once again, I told y'all, when I looked at this list, the number one thing is winning.
Yep.
You have to win. And I know it might only be 2 against 1, but that one, as you guys already described, who did the most and how they won. And Ryan, let's get into some stats. There's some stats that you actually left out. Playoffs. When you get there. Yeah, playoffs. Guess what? Who was 13-11 in the playoffs? Sure as hell wasn't John Elway. 14-8. Guess what? Who threw the most interceptions in the playoffs? It wasn't John Elway.
Every interception stat.
See what I'm saying? So those things, when you got the game on the line and critical, guess who was doing it? It was John, especially in this matchup. And Tim, shout out to you for putting these two guys together because they're very similar, you know, in the way they move and style and things like that. They're very similar. But I must say, and get back, because guess what? I used to have this game back in the day on Nintendo. I used to play this game, man. Oh, my God. It was about the quarterback. And guess who it was? It wasn't Brett Favre. Sorry, Reek. It was John Elway. And if you guys remember that way back, you know what I'm saying? I might be telling my age a little bit. But
You is, oldest.
88, baby. 88, baby, guys.
Nah, you 78. I'm lying.
I had that game too.
Exactly. See, exactly. On Atari. I both had it on Atari.
I said Reese played Madden on Atari.
That was yours.
But getting back to it, guys, is John Elway. You know what I'm saying? And I won't say it's by far, but I will give it to him because of the fact of he did it later on his career, and he did go against pretty much another GOAT and why he did not get a championship. So with that one being said, I'm definitely going with Mr. John Elway, straight out of Stanford. You know what I'm saying? You got to give it to him, man. There's no doubt about it. Brett, you just did too much. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to, once again, Rick, I have to commend you on that because you said the Jameis Winston effect. That's the white version. Brett Favre is the white version of Jameis Winston, guys.
Stop it.
Except he did win a little bit. Okay, but other than that, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We got to go with John Elway. Either it's your way or it's Elway. That's it. What you got, man? Tim, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? So we got Elway moving on. I think it's 4-1, Elway.
Yeah. So our last first-round matchup is hard for me and Reese here. It's like a pickle between your kids. Who's your favorite kid? But we got the number 2 seed, the first football game guy, Joe Montana Sports Talk Football. Shout out to Sega Genesis.
Yes, sir.
Back in the day.
That was my game.
Yes, sir.
Also, the first football player I think ever, maybe the only to rep LA Gear as their shoe of choice. And Steve Young, the guy that was about 10 years, 15 years ahead of his time with his game style.
Yes.
That's true.
So we'll go with Rye. You ready?
My bad. I had my microphone muted.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm ready. If we were doing this based solely on ability as a quarterback, my answer would be Steve Young. But Joe Montana has 5 Super Bowls. I don't got much else to say. 4. My bad.
That's okay.
My bad.
It's all good. It's good. It seems like you got 5.
Not as prepared as I thought. Anyway, that being said, 4. Still, you can't just overlook that. The answer is Joe Montana because if it wasn't for Tom Brady, he'd be regarded as the GOAT. Unfortunately, I'm gonna show my age here. I'm a baby. I'm the baby of the podcast. I wasn't exposed to much, so I know what I found out through Google and through YouTube. And so I'm going to throw it to the guys that got – the old heads that got to see him play. I'm talking to you, Reese.
Ooh.
88.
88, baby. 88, baby.
Yeah,
Stop
so-
lying to them, yo.
Oh, my
Graduated
goodness.
88.
And look,
Jesus.
so that's what I'm saying, man.
It's Joe Montana, plain and simple.
Oh, man. And Rye, you know what? Even though you're the young one, you know, and now they say, you know, with age before beauty and with age comes wisdom. But you know what, man? You're getting wiser. The more and more you get on these podcasts, you know what I'm saying? You're learning a whole lot. And I understand why you picked that. Because I must say, and Tim's right, you know, it's like picking your favorite kid. And, hey, I hope my family listens to this. You know what? That's besides the point. So with that being said, I am definitely going to go with Joe. It's not even it's not a thing. Y'all already know who I'm picking is Joe. Once again, Rye, you said it. Championships. Yes, Steve, you only got one, and I love the way you played. Left-hand quarterback, you know what I mean? The style you played at, you know what I mean? The comebacks.
Get the monkey off my back.
Yeah, get the monkey off my back. What you did in San Diego in that Super Bowl, how you got them out of here. We don't even remember that San Diego team, to be totally honest with you. I do a little bit of Natron Means and Ryan Humphries.
Dan Humphries, man.
Yes. Yeah, Humphries, you know, so forth. Yeah, we got them out of there. They shouldn't even been there. Get them out of there. But with that being said, you got to think about who Joe Montana played against, as we talked about. And we just got them out of here. Get them the fuck out of here. We got Dan Marino. Get him out of here. You see what I'm saying? He beat him in the Super Bowl. Boomer Esiason, he got him out of here. And he won it. It wasn't like, okay, I won it on the defense. No. Game-winning drive. The ball's in my hands. As you said, the most valuable position on the football field is the quarterback. And Joe has proven time and time again that guess what? I honestly should be considered the GOAT. So with that being said, I'm gonna pass it over. I'm gonna pass it over to Bruce.
I'll take it. So, I mean, look, man. Joe, what is it? Joe, can't remember.
Joe Cool.
No, I got a comeback kid.
Joe Cool.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Joe Montana, out of this group, he might be the least talented. I'm gonna tell you what, though. I always enjoy the story that they talk about on NFL films when they're in the middle of the Super Bowl, and Joe Montana looked up and saw John Candy in this.
Yes, sir.
He told his guys in the huddle. He said, "Yo, bro, really? Like
In Cincinnati.
stage?" And he could have gave two shits. Real life. Look, man. Joe Montana won a national championship with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, right? Steve Young sat on the bench while Joe Montana led the San Francisco 49ers to 4 Super Bowls. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you, it's hard not to say. Steve Young was way before his time, right? Steve Young was ridiculously talented. I hate left-handed quarterbacks, by the way.
It's clear. It's clear.
Anyway, look, man, it's Montana, but it's not by a lot. Steve Young, nah, man. Because I'll tell you right now, Steve Young would have took any of those teams to the Super Bowl. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Steve Young, the teams that he had around him, Montana. Come on, dog. Come on, Roger Craig, Ronnie Lott, Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Dwight Clark. I'm not making this stuff up, Mr. Niner fan. I'm speaking factual stuff.
I know you're not, but I take Brent Jones over Dwight Clark. Just saying. I'm sorry. But we'll get into the tight end later.
Brent Jones, Dwight Clark. I'm just saying, my bad, for not mentioning your boy Brent. But the point is they had some ball players around them. That was a hell of a team, man. I mean, so anyway, I got to go with Joe Cool, man. It's sad because I do like Steve Young, even if I do hate left-handed QBs. So I'm gonna throw this over to my man Reek with his hot takes lately. See what he has to say.
Oh boy. Okay.
What you got, Reek?
Hot takes. Listen. Joe over Steve. That's obvious. It's definitely Joe over Steve. I mean, like, it's definitely Joe over Steve. I mean, it's not even close. It's not even close. Here's why it's not even close, right? Here's why I'm going to argue, because I'm hot takes. They don't win that Super Bowl if they don't have Deion. You know why? Because they don't get there.
Yes.
They don't get there. People forget, because remember, I'm young. You know what I'm saying? I'm an 87 baby. So the Cowboys were running the NFC until Deion got there. Deion said, I'm so talented, I'm going to go to San Fran and win, which he did. He said, no what? I'm so talented, I'm going to go back to your rival and win there. And he did. I could argue they Steve Young that got them there. I'm going to say it's Deion.
He did.
I'm going to say that. Now, granted,
He did, bro.
it's been documented from other players that San Diego team was trash.
Yes.
So they got there by default. So that being said, it's definitely Joe Cool. He ain't got the crazy stats like everybody else, but the man is 4-0.
He won, bro.
He has the best 90s football game. Before Madden, it was Joe Football. Hut, hut, hut. That was my game right there. But outside of Techno Bowl, that's the game right there. Sega Genesis, you can still move with Jerry Rice to glory. That was my game right there. But yeah, it's Joe by a mile. There's a reason why Steve said, get the monkey on my back. It's because Joe put the monkey on his back with 4 rings. You know what I'm saying? So it's Joe. It's not close. Now, Steve Young, heck of a quarterback, but it is Joe. It's not close. What you got, Tim?
Okay. Let me start out by saying that Steve Young is by far my favorite player of all time.
Boy.
Me and shout out to Joe Tancini, are the two heads of the Steve Young fan club. And I love me, Steve. Steve, if you ever hear this, you're my guy.
Wow.
It's also said that Bill Walsh actually thought that Steve Young was a better quarterback than Joe Montana. But the owner,
that's 100%.
Yeah.
The owner wanted to stick with Joe. Bill wanted to go with Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually they got rid of Joe. He went to Kansas City. I mean, he got banged up a little bit beforehand. And Steve, like you guys said, those Cowboys games were like Super Bowls. So he lost to the Cowboys NFC Championship 3 times. But if you consider the stakes and the talent, those were actually the Super Bowls every time.
Yes, they were.
Correct.
Even like I said, even the one the Niners won, beating the Cowboys is a lot harder than beating like you said, the San Diego Superchargers. And Joe,
even
people
Buffalo.
forget too. Joe, in a lot of his Super Bowls, the Niners had the number 1 defense in the league.
Yes, they did.
It was the number 1 defense versus the number 1 offense when they beat Miami. And like I said, nobody was more clutch than Joe. Not even Brady.
No, I agree.
Joe, when it was time to go, like Bruce said earlier, Joe gave zero about pressure, zero whatever. He just rolled with the flow. He didn't force anything. I mean, he was cool. That's why he's Joe Cool.
Joe Cool.
But Steve Young also was super accurate. Like I said, he was way ahead of his time. And people talk about like guys like Cam Newton and Ben Roethlisberger and Carson Wentz taking big hits.
Oh.
If Steve Young got protected like quarterbacks do today, he would have played another 5 years. He got beat up, helmet to helmet outside the pocket. Like, no quarterback that I can remember, an eye test, maybe Aikman, took as many headshots, I think, as Steve Young did. So, if playing behind Joe, if Joe never went to the Niners, who knows? Maybe Steve Young would be the GOAT. But that being said, sorry, Steve. I love you. But it's Joe. Joe.
I love
Joe's
you,
gotta be the guy.
Steve.
You're my boy, Steve. You're my boy.
Scuba Steve.
Steve, I just want to hang out with you, man. I just want to come over for Christmas dinner and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So if you see me, what's up? But yeah, it's definitely Joe.
We've got a clean sweep. We got a clean sweep with that.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight after saying that, but yeah.
Hey, yo, Tim. So I honestly, I understand that, man, and I can't lie, man. Steve Young definitely, us being Niners fans, Steve Young definitely did a lot, man. He made the game exciting. But so that's a very huge matchup, man. I like the way you did set that up. You know, so that shout out to you, man. Shout out to you for honestly putting the bracket together, man. That was great. You know, and bringing it back, like I said, bridging
that's
the
what
gap.
I said yesterday. Like that's why I try to make every matchup like have some kind of tough element to it. Like you guys said, Elway and Favre were kind of similar. Marino and Manning were similar. Brady and Unitas. Like I try to make it like as spicy as possible.
You did a good job, Tim. You really did.
You did. By the way, Ryan, did you give your point, Ryan? Did you say what you wanted? Okay,
Yeah,
you
I
went first.
started things.
Oh, okay.
He
Gotcha.
pulled the Marshawn Lynch. He said it. Montana.
Oh, okay. It was so quick. Okay.
So
You know what though? Before we get to the second round, I'll say one thing about Montana. A lot of people did like scouts didn't think Montana was going to be what he was.
Mm-hmm.
Like they knew he was going to be a good player. They didn't think he was going to be Joe Cool, man.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
the Brady thing, right? So, and we're gonna get. And trust me, I got
We're
something
going to
saved for
probably get
Brady.
into that.
I got something saved for that Brady Montana debate if it makes it there. That'll be fun.
We'll see.
No, if.
So what we got? We got Elway,
Second round.
Montana, Brady, and
Yeah.
Manning.
Yeah. So we'll go faster this round, guys, because we made cases for everybody. Now we'll just give our reason,
Gotcha.
shorter reasons why for this round. So we'll
Gotcha.
start with that 1 versus 4 matchup. And I also set up this way too because now we got the Brady versus Manning, like it was for most of their career.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go with QB1 here, Bruce. Jump in here.
Man, I already said my piece on this, and I like Peyton Manning. I always will. Peyton Manning's daddy. Look, there's parts of Tom Brady. Tom Brady got real lucky with some of the things that have happened to him in his career. I mean, I went 3 out of 6 Super Bowls were on last-second field goals or like late field goals, right?
Yeah.
He's never blown nobody out. He barely beat the Rams. He caught an L versus the Philadelphia Eagles a couple years ago. So, I mean, look, as great as Peyton Manning was, Tom Brady moves on for me. Tom Brady, until we get to that finals and we really can have a discussion, Tom Brady's there.
Okay, let's go with Tariq. You're up.
If anybody says Peyton Manning, they drunk. They drunk. I'm sorry because there's
Why
a
would you say
reason.
that while I'm drinking?
Listen, there's a reason why Peyton Manning doesn't have that many rings. It's because of Tom Brady. Peyton Manning don't only have 2 rings because of Tom Brady. And reason why is because when they made it to those Super Bowls, I think only beating him once. I mean, usually it was the Broncos beating Brady, so that way Brady couldn't get there. So Peyton had to run away from Tom Brady in order to get there. So there's no way it's Brady. I mean, it's Manning. I know it's Manning to take this L. It's definitely Tom Brady. It's not close. You didn't get there because of Tom Brady. He is like your daddy. I mean, if not the daddy, he's your uncle. He's something.
Freak, let me add something to that I didn't say when I was on. Yo, when Peyton Manning retired, during his speech, he even said, "I want to thank the Patriot fans for hating me, like for basically giving me shit all those years." And he even said about Tom Brady, he's like, I know that me and Tom had some battles, and I was usually on the bad end of those battles.
Right, like you know how Jordan kept a lot of Hall of Famers for getting rings. That's how I feel about. That's how I feel about Peyton. Like Brady got you. Brady was the reason why you only had 2. You had to pray for those 2. It's like a king when he got his 2 when Jordan retired. That's how I feel. So it's Brady. And it's not even close. I'm sorry. What you got?
Okay.
Me?
Yeah. What you
got? Man, well, I clearly can't pick Manning because you just clearly said you got to be drinking, and you caught me literally in the middle of a sip. It's only a sip, guys. Shit. So, with that being said, yeah, I'm going to keep this short and sweet, man. I got Brady. I got, a.k.a. supposedly the GOAT. You know what I mean? I think that's still up for debate, even though he does have the championships. So, once again, I'm going to definitely go with Tom, not Tom Green, if anybody remembers that guy, but Tom, Mr. GOAT.
Mama's on the
Swedish. Yes. You know what I mean? I think Peyton Manning's career is better now than it was actually when he was in the NFL. It's hilarious. And this matchup is hilarious, too, that we even have it. So, once again, it's Brady. What you got, Ryan?
a second.
Yeah, while he's getting ready, Manning's going to make one hell of a. Oh.
He's drinking.
No, Manning is going to make one hell of a coach someday, though.
I knew
He's
it. I
drinking.
knew
He's
it.
drinking.
He is definitely
It
drinking.
ain't gonna.
Diabetes.
In the grand scheme of things, it's not going to make a difference. I grew up idolizing this man. He was he will go down as, without a doubt, my favorite quarterback of all time. It's Peyton Manning. He did things on the field that Tom Brady couldn't dream of doing. As far as the skill set goes, Tom Brady has the rings. I understand that. I'm putting on the skills goggle for a second. Peyton Manning did things on the field that Tom Brady could not dream of doing. Did he have a higher level of players surrounding him? Absolutely. I don't care. I'm biased here. I'm taking Peyton Manning.
I don't care.
Listen. He admitted his bias. So respect to him. Respect to him.
You know what? I must say, I mean, you do have a point, and we're going to see probably because as you say the skills, and we talked about it, and you guys all said it, that Peyton Manning was, I think, Tim, you said it, Peyton Manning was an offensive coordinator and so forth on that football field. So we're going to see. A lot of people say that Tom did what? He won those championships because of having Belichick. So we know on the other end that Peyton Manning definitely won one based off of just him, him in that offense. So, Rod, you do have a point there, but once again, you definitely drink it, man. Get some Pepsi with that. Get some Coke. You know what I mean? Jack and Coke. Do something with it. Jesus Christ! Don't just take it straight. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what you got, Tim?
I'm gonna keep it short. Tom Brady. I mean, Manning was asked to do more, and Brady had more help, we'll say, with the thinking area of the game. Manning had to do that all on his own because he had a defensive coach. I mean, Belichick's a defensive coach too, but he surrounded Brady with great offensive minds as coordinators. But it's Tom Brady. I mean, you can't write the Peyton Manning story without Tom Brady, but you can write the Tom Brady story without Peyton Manning. So it's Tom Brady. So and that we'll move on to our next.
See, you was going for it on fourth down. I see what you're doing. Yeah, I see what you're doing.
We're going to the 1 versus the 3 seed.
No, it's 2 and 3. 2 and 3.
2 and 3. My fault.
2 and 3. Yep.
I had too much drink myself today, so not enough to pick Peyton Manning, but a little bit. So we're going the 2 seed, Joe Montana, versus John Elway, known as greatest prospect of all time. So we'll go with Reese. Go first here, buddy. You're up.
Oh, I'm going to make this short and sweet. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very quickly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys remember this, but they faced each other, right? Right? They definitely did. And in that
close
Super Bowl, close game, right? It was a very, very close game. You remember the score of that game, Tim?
It was like 56 to wow, geez.
I can't count that.
55 to 10. 55 to 10, guys. 55 to 10. Why is it? We shouldn't even have this as a matchup. We already know in reality it already was. So, and my man Joe Montana had a QB rating, I think, of like 147. That's crazy. So, like I said, I ain't gonna say too much. We already know. In reality, we already had this matchup. 55 to 10. I ain't gotta say too much. It's Joe. It's Joe by far. Hands down. What you got?
What you got? Well, I was gonna go to Ryan. Ryan got his hand.
Go ahead, Ryan.
He's ready. He's ready.
So as you guys know, since we started this podcast, I fucking hate John Elway. I think he might be the worst GM in the history of the NFL, and I'm quite frankly, that's all right.
Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, thanks, Von Miller. Anyway, his numbers just aren't there for me. I'm emphatically selecting Joe Montana.
Show him the shirt. Show him the shirt, though.
I mean, come on. I
Wear the Broncos shirt.
I threw it on to support my man Peyton. I didn't have any Colts gear. And besides, Peyton embraces the Broncos more than he does Indianapolis.
He still lives in Denver, I think.
Yeah, I still think he's a Bronco. He's still a Colt, though.
He doesn't think so.
He'll go into the hall as a Colt.
What you got, Reek?
All right. I remember I was watching Bad Boys, and they went to the tire store. Said, JoJo. Oh, what you got there, Joe? Tell him something. Joe. It's definitely Joe. Like, it's Joe. Like, it's not very close.
Hey,
It's Joe.
JoJo knows tires, man. That's it.
Yeah, he knows tires.
You don't know nothing about nothing.
I could ask JoJo right now. He's going to tell me Joe Montana. No way. He's going to tell me Joe. I mean, like, I love you, John. You that guy. But no, 4-0, you know, 55-10. That's a Madden score. That's a Madden score. What are we talking about right now? That's Joe. Joe Montana. What you got? Are you next, Bruce?
Yeah, Bruce is last. QB1 is last.
Okay, I'll go next then. It's Joe Montana. My boy Christian Larocque won't like this so much because we've had this debate many times over a couple of adult beverages, and it's always the same. Montana over LA for me.
Okay.
So we'll go with Bruce.
I'd love to give you the typical, like, good answer here. But I am going to tell you, talent-wise, Elway is twice the player that Montana is. It's not close talent-wise, but Montana's a dog. Montana found ways to win. Now, granted, when I have a little fun with it, he was throwing to possibly the best receiver of all time. I'm just saying. Anyway, there was a lot of Hall of Famers on that team. Mm-hmm. That's none of my business, though. But anyway, Montana's the guy. I mean, Montana's fantastic. There was things he – like back in the day, like if you were a football fan back in the day, if you didn't respect what Montana did, you just weren't doing it. Elway could be the best prospect of all time only once. Montana.
Okay, so we'll go to our last matchup of the night, the heavyweight fight, the Thriller in Manila, we'll say. We'll go with Tommy Brady versus Joe Montana. Man.
I'll kick it off if you want.
Sure, let's go.
Hey, what do you have?
So look, man.
Uh-oh.
Tom Brady. A lot of things surround my boy Tom Brady. And realistically, he's your consensus GOAT. I don't think he wins this contest. I don't think he wins the overall bracket. It's unfortunate that I have to select Brady in this matchup. But I'm going to tell you, Montana's just a better QB. I said it. Yeah, Jerry Rice. Don't care. Montana did things at times in Super Bowl games Brady didn't really have to do as much. Brady, I know he hasn't had a bunch of superstars around him, but Brady's best season, he lost to the Giants. Brady went back, and he's held on. Like, listen, longevity is ridiculous. I mean, 6 Super Bowls is impressive. But if the Niners wouldn't have quit on Montana would have 5, maybe 6. Shit, maybe more. And he almost, what did he get to the AFC Championship game with the Chiefs? Or I know he got hurt in the game.
Yes.
Right? Shout out to Derek Thomas, DC.
And don't forget, too, the year the Giants made it, Lawrence Taylor broke his leg.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to look at it like this. Like, this right here, anybody that says this ain't close needs to go back and watch more football. Because this is close.
Who you pick, Bruce? I couldn't hear you.
Joe Montana.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Go on to the next.
I'll go next.
You got it, Reek.
Go, Reek.
Well, see, this is why I told you the 3 categories: eye test, accomplishments, and stats for this exact matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the eye test. Tom Brady, Mr. I run a 6 flat 40. I was want to make. I knew you was Drake. I want you. Gotcha, Bruce.
6 flat 40.
You know what I'm saying? But when you talk about throws in the clutch, That boy throw a pretty ball. You got Joe Cool, Mr. Comeback Kid. The way he throw the ball, you got the Dallas Clark catch. You got, Tom Brady coming back for 28-3. So we look at stats wise, that's where it's not a close comparison. Because Joe, when I looked at it, he had about 40,000 yards, 273 touchdowns, compared to Tom Brady with 74,000 yards, 541 touchdowns, and he had less interceptions. Lord Jesus.
Mhm.
Then we go to accomplishments. What is better, 6-3 or 4-0? Ooh, that's tough because I would love to have 6 rings, but again, I would like to be undefeated. When you're talking about the comeback kid with Joe,
Michael Jordan.
right? So when you talk about the comeback kid with Joe, I'm arguing Tom Brady's the comeback kid because his Super Bowls, he had 4. No, I think he had 6 comebacks. Every Super Bowl I remember, they came back and won. Whether it was a field goal, whether it was a quick touchdown, they won. When you come back from 28-3, I've never seen that before in my life. And he won. 28-3. When you talk about going against Seattle, the Legion of Boom, he was down 10 points in 4th quarter. Came back and won.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
He came back and
That
won.
Super Bowl didn't even count for him. Stop it.
Listen, it counts. He won. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at against the Panthers, the Rams, it's just like he beat the best team on turf. You know what I'm saying? Now I get it, Joe, 4-0.
Yeah.
4-0. Now, that being said, if Tom Brady were to make 2 more Super Bowls and lose, I might knock him down because I don't like 6-5. But when you got 6 of them and you came back on all of them, you the true comeback kid. And I don't like to say it, but I got to give it to Tom, man. Tom Brady to go better than Joe by a little bit. But when you look at them stats, 74,000 to 40, you can't argue coaching. You got Bill Walsh to Bill Belichick. So they both got good coaching.
All right, but just to defend my boy Joe Cool over here, it was a different era, and they ran the ball a whole hell of a lot more.
Yeah,
Yes.
but 30.
Yes.
But okay, that same era, what did Dan Marino had? He had 61.
That's
all they did was
run the ball. That's all.
Okay, but what I'm saying is 30,000. He almost doubles his passing yards, and he has
How
less
many more years they
interceptions.
play?
And he had 4 more. He had 4
Yes.
less rings.
It's 4 less rings, and you look at it, the fact that he has less interceptions.
Who has 4 less rings?
Not 4 less rings.
I
He
know
has
what you're talking about.
he has
2.
less. He has 2 less rings. He has less interceptions than him. That's ridiculous.
So who's the GOAT?
It's Tom.
Wait, no. Who's the GOAT? Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
It's Jordan. But here's you compare 6-0 to 3-6. That's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same. If hold on. If LeBron was 6-3 and 6-0, what do you mean? Montana only has 4 rings though. But Montana has
Only
4. though.
played him for him.
Who fault is
Won them
that?
all.
Who fault is that?
Won them all.
Niners.
Get some more rings. Like get some more Super Bowls. We don't need to do. Now,
Bro.
if LeBron had 6 rings of 6-3, now I'm like, you know what? I give it to LeBron because he made 2 more. Like I
Holy
gotta
shit.
I want to tell you. Go ahead, Rod. What you
Wow.
got?
Wow. I understand it.
I'm just going to go down a list of things that Tom Brady has done that Joe Montana hasn't.
Oh shit.
Here we go.
Tom Brady's thrown for 50 touchdowns in 1 season. Joe Montana hasn't.
Okay.
1 season.
1 season. That's all right. Tom Brady's won 6 Super Bowls. Joe Montana hasn't. What else do I need to say? It's Tom Brady. It's been Tom Brady.
Oh,
shit.
man.
I know you had a whole list. He ain't taking 2 goddamn things.
So Reese, you or me? You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Oh, you're gonna break my heart, Reese.
And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think this shit is GOAT madness. And I know, Reek, you said, like you said with the Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, you got to be drinking, right, to pick fucking Manning. I think you and Ryan must be clearly had a sip of that fucking Jack Daniels. Are y'all? What's going on over here? I know we quarantine, but y'all are discrediting what Joe has done. You know those 4 rings, he got them in 8 years. 8 years, guys. 4 rings in 8 years. Tom never did that. Tom never do that. He never did that. Just remember that.
You said your number one thing was winning.
It is.
Took my man 20 years.
Last time I checked. Now listen, I wasn't always that
20.
good at math, but 6 is more than 4.
It is. It
46
really
years
is.
old.
Now, when we get to this GOAT conversation, you gotta be critical. You gotta go nitpick a little bit, right? You gotta dibble down stuff that you would like. All right, you know what? You ain't there yet. You're not on this level. But we talking about 1 and 2. And before Tom came, it was who was the GOAT? It was Joe, right? Joe was the Joe Cool. There's a reason why he got called Joe Cool, because he won 4 and 8. He didn't get rattled at all. And you got to remember, who did he go against? He went against a couple guys that got on his list. He stopped a couple guys from getting championships. You know what I'm saying? Look at the matchups.
Hall of Fame.
He went against Dan. Got him the fuck out of here. He went against Boomer. Got him the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And he beat, like I said, he beat Elway badly. He outdueled Dan. As you said.
Like a red and mule.
See what I'm saying? So it's how you win as well, too. So he got 4-0 in the championship. And I must say, if y'all don't know by now, I'm going with Joe Cool.
Yeah,
Joe's my guy. Joe is still the GOAT. Because guess what? Which I'm feeling to realize is that 2 of those championships, and maybe possibly even 3, that Brady won, it wasn't because of him. It was on that defense, and we know that. It was on that coaching from Belichick. Malcolm Butler saved the day.
Adam Vinatieri.
Yes.
What was the score?
Yes.
What was the score of that Bronco game?
That thing was 55-10. 55-10.
Quick question.
That thing was done at halftime, guys. They was already sipping beers and had champagne at halftime, celebrating. So y'all talk about, and let's remember, Tom Brady had, as we're going to get into another episode, of one of the greatest wide receivers, and some actually got him as number 1. And what did he do with him? Did he win a championship with that guy? No, he didn't.
No.
Wow. But what did Joe do?
How many did Joe have without Jerry?
1.
1.
1.
So I could argue he don't get 4 without Jerry.
You can argue that Jerry didn't get 3 without Joe.
Exactly. Exactly.
But here's the thing, though. When you talk about receivers, number 1 and number 2 ain't close. We all say Jerry by far because it's just retarded his numbers. When you talk about
because
Joe,
of what? Because you said it before off this podcast. You said because of the quarterbacks. And guess what? We said Young against Montana. You see how many chips he got. So Joe, who's not the talented, and it's so funny that the 2 guys who aren't as talented as everybody else in this whole GOAT matchup are the ones that we're saying are literally 1 and 2. And Joe, once again, he's an accurate passer. That's what was meaning for the Bill Walsh, you know what I'm saying, offense. You had to be accurate. It wasn't just, hey, just put the ball on the numbers. No, I needed 6 inches from his face mask. He demanded that out of Joe. And Joe got it done. So that's why, hey, we threw to John Taylor, who's not, guess what? John Taylor didn't make the Hall of Fame, guys. Oh, no. Oh, you forgot about that. John Taylor did not.
He
did not. Yeah. Nope. So guess what? He made the winning catch against Cincinnati on that drive when Joe said, hey, what's up? Look at John Candy. So guess what? Once again, Mr. Joe Cool is still the GOAT because guess what? He threw no interceptions in the Super Bowl. 4 of them. And got better and better from his first one to his last one. His QBR rating went up, up, and up. So when Joe had the most pressure, he did the best. Did Tom do that? No, he did not. Look at the numbers. And like I said, I was able to see both a little bit. Don't get me wrong. I was able to see all of Joe's, but I was able to see both of them. 88, baby. I'm an 88, baby, guys. Once again, Tom, if you're able to do it without Belichick, and I hate to say it, that you got to win 7 to beat this guy, it's the way you do it. We got to nitpick you, man. I'm sorry, Tom. You was there. I almost made a set. I might have said it when you won at 6. But the fact that you had a great defense as well, as Tim said before, with Niners having a great defense, he did too as well. And actually saved him.
Hey,
so
on that point, a lot of y'all forget. I know he had Jerry Rice, but Tom Brady got a couple Super Bowls with Gronk. And that's
Yes,
a
he
Hall of
did.
Fame tight end right there.
Jerry
Yes.
and
Played
Gronk
one
is not a
season with
close
Randy Moss.
comparison. I don't even do that.
It's still, and what do you mean not a close comparison?
It's not
He's
close.
one of the best in his own position.
He's not
Yeah.
the best.
Quick subtle plug. Gronk, who will be the 1 seed in our tight end GOAT bracket. Just a little tease of what's to come.
Okay, let me get in this
Check
thing.
that out.
I'm the deciding
Get him,
factor
Tim.
here.
Yeah, it's
Get him,
2-2.
Wonder how this one's going to go.
Don't disappoint us, Tim.
You guys might be surprised about my pick here,
Oh, shit.
but I'm no homer.
Oh, no.
But Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, in 9 Super Bowls, has 18 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Joe Montana has, in 4 Super Bowls, 11 touchdowns to 0 interceptions.
0.
So that's 7 less touchdowns and 5 less appearances. He had comebacks in those games. I mean, Brady has some comebacks. He had a lot of help from Vinatieri. That being said, Joe Montana is crowned the official GOAT of the quarterback division.
That's what I'm talking about, Tim. That's what I'm – Tell him. Bow, bow, bow.
Sorry,
See, we
Steve Young.
tied today, man.
Down goes Brady.
I still love you,
Who
Steve
goes
Young.
Brady? I still love you, Steve Young. Scuba Steve, you my boy. You my boy, Scuba Steve. I still love you.
Shout out to Steve Bono.
Exactly. Steve Bono. Oh, my God.
Yo, TKO in the 5th round.
Oh, man. I see what you're doing, man. You got us against the ropes. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The old rope-a-dope. I see what you're doing. Tim.
Upset-
He went for it again on 4th
upset
down.
Potters.
Nah, man, listen. Bill Walsh, y'all forget about that too, right? You said he
Oh,
created
Bill
the
Belichick.
offense. You said he
He was-
created an offense.
He wasn't there the whole time, though.
He wasn't. He was not.
George
How many
Seifert.
rings? How many rings Bill got?
3.
Mm-hmm.
He had 3 out of 4. The new offense called the West Coast.
Hey,
Nobody
guess
can
what?
stop.
He
Joe
did it
Montana won
without
with the
Bill.
worst coach ever.
I think you guys were just plotting
Yo.
against me and Reek because we're young.
Yo,
You hating.
George
Hold up.
Seifert, the horrible coach.
Hold up. You forgetting something else, too, though. Joe Montana did get a national championship.
We're not talking about
Tom
Tom Brady
college.
didn't.
We're not talking about
Hey, I'm
college.
just- we
The
talking about
winner
great players.
everywhere.
No, we're talking
Hold on.
about
He's a winner
NFL.
everywhere.
We're talking about college.
Real fast.
And well,
Real
Tim
fast.
Tebow be in this discussion.
He's a winner.
Real fast, though. Also, we
He's
have
a
to say
winner.
that our final matchup is a 3rd-round quarterback and a 6th-round quarterback.
Exactly.
How about that?
Come on, good call, Tim.
Crazy.
Oh.
It's crazy.
That was
So, yeah,
fun.
the winner of the GOAT Madness quarterback bracket for the football guys, unfortunately, is Joe Montana.
Upset.
Hey
Upset.
fans.
Uh,
Hey fans. Don't do this. Pick right. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Pick
exactly.
right. Don't
Exactly.
you bring out Drew Brees. Don't you
Y'all
bring
know who
out,
it is. Y'all know who the GOAT is.
don't
Especially
you
y'all
bring
young
out
folk.
Phillip Rivers.
There's no
Y'all
Don't
young
bring
folk
write-ins.
don't even know
out
who Joe
Mike
is.
There's no write-ins.
We're gonna have a
Yo.
fan vote too. Don't
Uh,
disappoint us.
So just a couple things coming up, guys. As we said a couple times throughout the episode, the next position we're going to be highlighting is the tight end. And spoiler alert, I put it out there already. Rob Gronkowski is the 1 seed. Until that episode drops, we'll let you guys use your imagination about who's going to fill in the rest of those spots. Also, as you know, you're listening to this. This is Thursday. We're going to be dropping the tight end episode hopefully Sunday, if not Monday. Anyone else have anything they want to add?
Yeah.
Nope.
Hey,
Like,
listen.
go ahead,
Just,
go ahead.
just one last thing. Guys, get your votes in. You know what I mean? It'll be on all our social medias. Get the votes in. Once we get to the round of 8, the contest is going to get spicy. So, get those votes in so we can have a little fun with this.
Yep.
Real quick,
subscribe
yeah,
to the page, do all that.
absolutely. Like, share, subscribe. Send it to your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your cousins. I don't care who you send it to. Send it to them. Tell them to do the same thing. We appreciate it. Our page
Send it
is
to Steve.
500.
Send it to Steve Young.
Yeah, send it to Steve Young. Tell him Tim wants to hang out. Wants to come over for Christmas dinner. Guys, our Facebook page hit 500 likes this week. We cannot thank you guys enough. We really can't.
Yeah.
Less than a month.
Thank you.
Took less than a month, and we got to 500. And so we really, really appreciate that. And real quick, because you guys said contest. So when you have a contest, usually when you win a contest, there's a prize. Do we have a prize yet for the winner of this?
Yeah, so that's what we talked about. We're going to announce the official contest details once we got to the round of 8. But we're going to do a Football Guys T-shirt and a $50 gift card to a restaurant of their choice.
Okay.
Or we'll let them do a $50 Visa gift card. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Hey,
good
one
stuff.
thing before we go ahead and exit, man. Once again, like Rod said, man, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate a lot of the support that you guys been giving, man. You know, we didn't expect this to go on how it's going, and we definitely appreciate it. But if you guys can continue to show your support, you know what I'm saying, on Apple and on Spotify, please, on both of those platforms, if you can go ahead and leave a review, like it, it'll help with us in our rankings as well, too, in our ratings.
This is the first time we can actually say this because it's the first episode we recorded since it's happened. We're officially on Apple Podcasts, which is big because Apple's a pain in the ass to get yourself approved. So that's huge.
Yes.
So
yes, please leave a review.
So
and
we're on a mission. You know what I mean? We're on a mission.
One other update, because someone reached out to me for the people that don't have Spotify and that have Samsung phones or other type of phone. I'm going to look into getting us on Google Play also. Google Play apparently has their own their own podcast service. So that'll be our next step. That's in the works because a couple people have asked me already. That being said, I don't think we have anything else. As always, we are the Football Guys. Until next time.